Aishwarya Parab, and today we'll be starting with our roadmap to getting clients on Internshala with this video. If you haven't watched the announcement video yet, then make sure to watch it. I'll link it in the description box below. You'll know altogether why I have chosen Internshala and you'll know what you'll get from this roadmap. Now without wasting any further time, let's get started with today's video, shall we? Okay, so now let's get straight to the point. A few things you need to remember in order to be professional and in order to look different from the others once you apply on Internshala. I've smartly chosen Internshala because the competition on Internshala is very low. Trust me when I say this. For example, I mainly apply for content writing internships, and sparingly people apply for content writing internships. Like there are just 71 applicants or say 90 applicants, around 150 applicants. Sometimes at the most the applicants can go over 300 but less than 500 always. And in a country whose population is ranked second in the world, this is a golden chance for you to get into these internships and learn something from each organization that selects you. Of course, because the competition is lower, you don't need to fight with people to get your spot right. So here are a few things that can help you to do this. Easy things, just a few hours of work you need to do on each of these sections and you're set to get selected by the best of companies on Internshala. The first thing you need to do is update your Internshala resume. If you have already been on Internshala, you'll of course know about this resume. If you're new to Internshala, then you should log in and you should start sign up and then start making your resume. If you do not know how to make a powerful resume, then you don't need to worry on Internshala, as there's nothing you need to do on Internshala. Everything is there for you on Internshala. The education section, the skills section, additional skills section, then everything. Your portfolio section, then your job section, internship section. There are different sections. You just need to fill in your information, what all you have done till date. That's all. So you need to look at this resume and update it. If you have taken some new internships, say from other platforms, then update these new internships here. Now, carefully you need to look at two sections. The first section is your skills section. So if you are applying for a web development internship, then make sure that you have all those skills that a web developer needs in order to get through a web development internship. Okay? Easy. This is the first section, the skills section, and you can just put endless amount of skills in this section provided you know about each of these. Just don't bluff here. Otherwise, of course, they'll say that in your resume this skill was present and now you're saying that you do not know about it. So don't bluff. This is the first important section. The second important section is your portfolio or work samples section, wherein you can put all the projects that you have completed to date. If you haven't completed any projects for anybody, then just take something from the internet and try it out. For example, if you're applying for a graphic designing internship, then in the path of learning graphic designing, you may have created something, right? You may have created some assignments. If you may have taken a course, then you may have submitted some assignments in that course, or you may have just done something for your college. As you're good at it, you'll of course do something. Or you may have done something for your Instagram page if you have an Instagram page. You can just put those samples in a Google Drive link and provide the link in your portfolio section. And there's another section which is also important. For example, if you're a content writer, as I am, you can provide your blog link. If you have a blog, you can provide that link. Also, you can provide your Instagram page link. You can also provide your code page link. So all these pages, if you have these pages and if you have posted something there that tells your recruiter that you know this better, you know this niche better, just post the link. That's all you need to do. Also, if you have additional hobbies or if you have some additional positions of responsibility, then you can just mention that. For example, I am the literature section representative from our literature and art club. So this gives me an upper edge because I have a position of responsibility in my college that tells the recruiter that I'm a person of higher standards. I'm a person who is responsible, and I'm a person who will provide higher standards of accuracy and efficiency in the work that I do. So basically, you need to make your resume recruiter friendly by just giving in all the information that you have. Don't leave any stone unturned. Just give all the information you have, all the pages that you have, all the work samples that you have done to date to learn that particular niche. Include it all in the portfolio section. So that's all for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then please make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you have any queries related to this particular process, you can comment down below. I'll make sure to answer all your queries. It just takes a few minutes. Please do that and subscribe. That is so important. Many people watch my videos but they just leave it watched and not subscribed. So subscribe to my channel, the red button you can see next to my name. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and also the bell button with it, so that you get notified every time I post new videos. That's all. I'll see you next time. You take care of yourself. Bye.